Every single person watching this video has a missing chapter. A chapter that lasted years. You lived through it. You experienced it. You felt fear, comfort, hunger, curiosity, and love. And yet, you can't remember any of it. Think about that for a second. Your first birthday, your first words, your first steps, the first time you laughed, the first time you cried. Entire years of your life have vanished. Not blurred, not faded, gone. It's one of the strangest mysteries of being human, and the deeper scientists looked into it, the stranger it became. Because this isn't just a story about forgotten memories, it's a story about who you are, and whether the person you think you've always been ever really existed. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that everything before age 7 had been erased. No memories, no faces, no moments, nothing. You would probably consider that a tragedy, a catastrophic loss. But here's the disturbing part. That's already happened to every single one of us. Most people cannot remember anything from before the age of 3, very little before age 5. And even those memories are often fragmented and unreliable. It's a phenomenon called childhood amnesia. For over a century, scientists have been trying to explain it. At first, the answer seemed simple. Maybe babies just can't form memories. Problem solved, except they can. Researchers discovered that infants can recognize faces, remember voices, learn patterns, store information. Babies are constantly creating memories. Their brains are recording experiences every single day. So if those memories existed, where did they go? And that's where everything gets strange. Scientists began looking deeper into the developing brain. What they found was unexpected. The hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming long-term memories, is still under construction during early childhood. It's like trying to save files on a computer while the operating system is being rebuilt. Information enters, experiences happen, memories form, but the storage system itself keeps changing. Imagine writing a diary every day, then replacing the pages every night. Eventually, the stories disappear, not because they were never written, but because the place storing them kept transforming. For years, this explanation seemed convincing. But then something happened. Experiments on animals revealed something disturbing. Young brains create new neurons at an astonishing rate. Millions of fresh brain cells, constantly. At first, this sounds like a good thing. More neurons, more learning, more intelligence. But researchers noticed a strange side effect. The creation of new neurons appeared to disrupt old memories. In other words, the very process helping young brains learn might also be destroying the memories they already had. Think about that. Your brain may have erased your earliest experiences simply to make room for becoming smarter. Growth required forgetting. Learning required loss. But that wasn't the strangest implication, because memory isn't just a recording device. Memory is identity. Everything you believe yourself to be is built from remembered experiences. Your favorite foods, your fears, your ambitions, your personality, your story. Take away enough memories, and who remains? This is where childhood amnesia becomes something much darker. Because if your earliest years are inaccessible, then the foundations of your personality were built in a place you can never visit. The most important years of your development happened behind a locked door, and you don't have the key. You don't remember learning language, yet language shapes every thought you have. You don't remember forming emotional attachments, yet those attachments influence your relationships decades later. You don't remember discovering how the world works, yet those discoveries still guide your behavior. The person you became was shaped by experiences you'll never consciously recall. It's like living inside a house built by someone else, a house whose architect has disappeared forever. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. Many of our earliest memories may never have been lost at all. They may simply be trapped, buried beneath layers of development. Researchers have found evidence suggesting that some forgotten childhood experiences continue influencing behavior unconsciously. The memory itself vanishes. The effect remains, a frightening experience, a comforting moment, a feeling of safety, a feeling of rejection. The conscious memory disappears, but the emotional fingerprint survives. Imagine being haunted by events you can no longer remember, shaped by stories you cannot access, guided by ghosts of experiences hidden deep inside your mind. Suddenly, childhood amnesia feels less like forgetting and more like living with invisible forces. But there's an even deeper mystery. Why does memory matter so much in the first place? Because memory creates continuity. It convinces you that the person you were yesterday is the same person you are today. It's the thread connecting your life into a single story. Without memory, that story begins to unravel, and when we look closely, something unsettling appears. The you who existed at age 1 is gone. The body changed, the brain changed, the neurons changed, the memories disappeared. Almost every piece of that original person vanished, yet somehow, you still call that child me. Why? What exactly survived? What is the thing connecting you to a forgotten infant whose thoughts, memories, and experiences no longer exist? Philosophers have wrestled with this question for centuries, and nobody has found a definitive answer. Maybe identity isn't memory. Maybe identity isn't the brain. Maybe the self is something stranger. Or maybe the self is simply a story we keep telling ourselves. A story stitched together from fragments. A story with entire chapters missing. Which brings us back to the beginning. Every person watching this video has lived through years they cannot remember. Years that shaped them more than they realize. Years that quietly determined the person they would become. Those moments are gone, yet they remain, invisible, hidden beneath consciousness, still influencing every decision, every fear, every desire, and perhaps that's the strangest truth of all. The most important parts of your story may be the parts you'll never remember, and somewhere in the darkness of your forgotten childhood, the first version of you still exists, silent, unreachable, forever shaping the person you are today. Subscribe to our channel for more these like videos.